Hey guys, this is James White with Frequent Reviews, bringing you As Seen on TV product reviews and more. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so for more videos like this. Now, today I've got an older As Seen on TV product. This one's called Magna Vision. It is self-described as the mobile device screen enlarger. But does it really work? Let's check it out in today's review. I wasn't originally planning on doing the Magna Vision because it's been out for several years, but I recently saw it advertising on Instagram, so I thought maybe I'd revisit it and give it a shot and see if it actually works. So without further ado, let's get right to the Magna Vision. That's the contents, that's all we see. Instructions, a cloth, and the device itself. It says as easy as 1, 2, 3, you lift up the magnifier, elevate the base, lift up the stand, and I guess step 4, which they didn't want to say as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4, is place your phone in there. Got some dust on here. Maybe we'll use this cloth. It's a bit dusty. That's kind of fun. Let's do it again. So using the device is pretty simple. You pull this down here. And you pull this, and then that snaps out, and this is where you place your phone. It doesn't go back any more than that. It feels like it's going to break if you push it back any more than that. Even though the instructions seems to show a little bit more of an angle than I'm getting. And you can also pull out this as well if you need to prop it up. I've got a rather large phone case with thin optics in the back, by the way. It fits here. But as you can see, the angle is almost downward and it doesn't stay up very well. So I actually need to take my phone case off to use it with the Magna Vision. A little disappointing. All right, let's try it without the case on. Well, that's much better. Now, first of all, as you can see, I'm getting some weird reflections on this thing. Let's look at the size difference. Well, that reflection is light from the other side of the room. I can actually block it off by putting my hand back there. So if you have light behind the subject, you might get a reflection like this. Let me change the angle here. All right, that's better. Okay. Let me do a comparison left and right. I'm going to do, the left side is going to be the Magna Vision. All right, here's the right side. Let's compare the two of those. What do you guys think? I'm watching the video now. The reflection is still there a little bit. It's almost going to be better in a dark room. In fact, let me move to a dark room to see how this looks. I'm actually in my laundry room right now because this is the darkest room in the house in the daytime. And it gives me a pretty good idea of how it enlarges it. I think the screen looks pretty clear. There are some reflection issues. Even in here, I'm seeing a little bit of a reflection, which is kind of strange. Do you guys see that? It seems like there's a little bit of, some of the light is kind of streaking in there. I need to try some more things and see how it works. The packaging says it enlarges your screen by 300%. If their screen is 6.5 inches and the screen on my phone is 4 3/4 inches, I don't see how you get 300% out of that. It curves the screen a little bit. I noticed that when I was watching it too. Everything has a slight curve to it. I know curved TV screens are big, but that's not really the same thing. It seems like any bit of outside light causes streaks in here. I'm getting streaks there. I'm trying to block it. I'm still seeing streaks. So I'm not a fan of the streaks. Another thing I noticed is that when you place your phone here, it doesn't really lock in place anyway. It could easily slide out the sides because they're showing them on an airplane and cars. All right, so everything is definitely bigger. It certainly enlarges it, but it's also not as clear as my phone. I've got this nice crystal clear screen. I put it behind there and it's not quite as crystal clear. There's some reflections, it's slightly blurry. They said no distortion, I don't know about that. And once again, as I'm holding it here, it could easily slip out because there's nothing that secures it in place. I don't know. Let me see if I can find a good use for this. I'm gonna take it in the car and see if maybe watching a movie in the car in the back seat would help this seem more useful to me, because right now, I'm not really seeing much of a difference. Let's check it out. They show someone watching a movie on an airplane using this, so I'm not flying anywhere, but I figure I'd get in the car and try it this way. All right, so if I hold it in my hand, it actually doesn't look too bad. Can you guys see that? How's that look? See, if I set it down, you're kind of stuck with whatever angle you get. But here, when I'm holding it, it's actually better. Now, the picture isn't as good, but the screen's slightly larger, so it's definitely a trade-off. Let me try some reading glasses and see how that looks compared to the Magna Vision. Say my name. All right, so with my reading glasses, I can't hold it back as far, but I also don't have any reflection. The screen, I guess, kind of looks larger. It's definitely clearer through the reading glasses. It's definitely larger through the Magna Vision. I'm not sure I like the Magna Vision better. Even though it's not quite as large, it's clearer. I don't know. I do think it's better holding it in my hand in the car as opposed to having it on the table. At least when I hold it, I can get the right angle, which I can't do from the table. Oh, look at all the dust from the sun. Can you see that? Look at all that dust. The commercial also showed it being used for other things besides just watching videos on your smart device, like reading. I mean, I guess it enlarges it. It's not a huge amount of improvement. It really isn't a huge amount of magnification, really. 3x, that's not a lot. Now they say you can adjust this to the perfect angle. So I've got a tripod sitting at eye level, and I'm gonna show you how it looks looking into this when it's sitting on a table. Okay, as you can see, this is what I'm seeing. See this bottom part here? I can't seem to get an angle so the phone is centered and fills the screen. I always have a little bit of an extra space, so I kind of have to either tilt it back manually or I have to kind of scooch down to view it properly. It doesn't seem like I can get the perfect angle. This needs to be a little bit higher. Ignoring the fact that you're getting all those reflections, it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look great. I'm not sure that's really worthy of having a second thing to carry around with you to get a slight magnification that's a little bit blurrier and has reflections. All right, so I've really been trying to look around for ways that the Magna Vision will be useful. I think I found one, and that's looking at recipes while cooking. Check this out. So I'm saying I've got something cooking here. I've got the Magna Vision over there. So in this case, it kind of doubles as a stand and a slight magnifier. This magnification isn't huge, but it is noticeable as you stand back. And when I stand back a few feet, I get the right angle so I don't have all that extra space in the bottom. So, I mean, this is something that might be useful for if you use your phone for a lot of recipes. I mean, you still get some reflections, but from this angle over here, I don't think they're so bad that I can't read everything. So in the end, I'm not real convinced about the Magna Vision. It makes 3 claims in the advertising. One is that the screen is increased by 300%. Number 2 is that there's no distortion. And number 3, you can get the perfect viewing angle. I'm not sure that any of those are really accurate from what I could tell. I did find it was kind of useful for looking at recipes while cooking, but as far as using it in the car or watching movies, I don't really think it's good for that because the screen has all these reflections on there, even in the dark. And even though they say no distortion, it doesn't seem as clear as my phone is. I'd actually rather wear a pair of reading glasses over something like this. It just seems like one extra thing to carry around that doesn't really add much benefit. I picked this up for about 10 bucks at Fry's, and you can still find this, I think, on Amazon as well. Have you used the Magna Vision? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Please check out my social profiles for progress pictures, videos as I go, and also check out my brand new Patreon page, which just launched. Please subscribe for more As Seen on TV product reviews from me, James White, with Freakin' Reviews.